Why did you turn down a promotion that everyone said you'd be crazy to refuse? Because some things matter more than rank, and by the time I figured that out, I'd already spent 6 years doing everything wrong. I was Sergeant Curtis Brennan, infantry squad leader at Fort Bragg, 26 years old, flawless evaluation reports, the kind of soldier who made E5 in 3 years instead of 5. My platoon sergeant said I had a golden path to command. When the promotion board results came out, my name was at the top of the list for staff sergeant. Everyone congratulated me. New pay grade, better assignments, probably a spot at Ranger School. My squad threw me a party at the barracks. I should have been celebrating. Instead, I kept thinking about Private Sterling Wade. Wade was the newest guy in my squad, 20 years old, skinny kid from rural Montana, who barely passed basic training, struggled with everything, PT, rifle qual, land nav. The other guys called him liability behind his back. During our last field exercise, he'd gotten so turned around during a night movement that I'd found him 2 clicks off course, sitting against a tree, crying. "I'm not cut out for this, Sergeant," he'd said, voice shaking. "I'm just holding everyone back." I'd been furious. "Get up, we've got a mission to complete. Tough love. That's what leaders did, right? Push soldiers past their limits, make them stronger." Except Wade didn't get stronger. He got quieter, withdrew more, started showing up to formation with dark circles under his eyes like he wasn't sleeping. The promotion ceremony was scheduled for Friday. Tuesday afternoon, I caught Wade in the supply room, going through his gear with this methodical, detached expression that made my stomach drop. I'd seen that look before, in Afghanistan, on a specialist named Griffin who'd hanged himself in the shower facility 3 days later. "Wade, you good?" I asked. "Fine, Sergeant." Flat voice, dead eyes. I should have reported it right then, should have dragged him to behavioral health. Instead, I told myself I was overreacting. Kid was probably just tired. That night, I couldn't sleep, kept thinking about Griffin, how I'd noticed the signs but figured someone else would handle it, how I'd been too focused on being a hard-ass squad leader to actually see him, how his best friend had found him, and I'd had to write the letter to his parents explaining that we'd failed their son. I wasn't going to let that happen again. Wednesday morning, I requested a meeting with my company commander, Captain Everett Pierce, walked into his office and said 6 words that made him stare at me like I'd lost my mind. "Sir, I'm refusing the promotion." "You're what?" "I need to stay with my squad, sir. I've got a soldier who needs help, and I can't abandon him right now." Pierce leaned back in his chair. "Brennan, are you serious? You know how rare these promotion opportunities are? You might not get another shot for 2 years. "I understand, sir. Is this about Wade?" He must have noticed my expression. "Yeah, his squad leader put in a counseling statement last week. Kid's struggling, but that's not your problem. You're moving up. Let the next squad leader handle it." That's when I finally said what I should have said years ago. "With respect, sir, that's exactly the problem. We keep passing struggling soldiers to the next person, treating them like paperwork instead of people. Wade doesn't need a new squad leader. He needs someone who actually gives a damn whether he makes it through the week alive." The silence stretched out. Pierce drummed his fingers on his desk, studying me. "You're willing to sacrifice your career progression for one private? It's not a sacrifice if it's the right thing to do, sir." He denied my refusal at first, said I was being irrational, but I stood my ground, and eventually he let it go to the battalion commander, who was so baffled by the whole situation that he actually approved it. First time in the unit's history, someone had voluntarily turned down a promotion board selection. The next 6 months, I focused on Wade. Really focused. Not yelling, not threatening, actually listening. Found out his brother had died in a car accident right before he shipped to basic. Found out he'd joined the army to honor his brother's memory, but felt like he was failing. Worked with him every day on the fundamentals. Stayed late, helping him study. Brought him to behavioral health. Sat in the waiting room until he finished his appointments. Slowly, Wade started coming back. Made his PT minimums. Qualified marksman on his next range. Stopped looking like he was one bad day away from giving up entirely. Here's what nobody expected. 2 years later, Wade made Soldier of the Quarter for our brigade. Re-enlisted for another contract. Last month, he got accepted to Ranger School, the same school I'd given up my chance at attending. And me? I finally made staff sergeant last year, 18 months behind my original timeline. But when Wade called me from Fort Benning after earning his tab, thanking me for not giving up on him, I realized something. Some promotions you earn on paper. Others you earn by being the leader you wish you'd had when you needed one most. That delay was worth every single day.